Boom, boom, boom. We live. What's good, people? Why is my camera like that? What the hell? Yeah, fix up. What's good, people? What's good? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another stream. It's a late night one. Hopefully my audio is alright. Let me double check. Yep, we good. We good. We just sort out a few practicalities real quick. And then we're gonna get right into it. As you can see from the title, today we're just going to be chatting about whether Arsenal do have the best squad depth in the Premier League. Yes, you heard that right. The best squad depth in the Premier League, which I believe personally. Well, we'll get onto it, but yeah, I do have my opinions on that. Let me actually put on the light because it's way too dark for you lot. Like, you definitely can't see me right now. I feel like you could see me way better with the light on. I don't know why I was sitting in the dark like that. But yeah, man. Let's get into it. We got a few things to talk about today, people. We are going to actually start off. We're going to rewind a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to rewind. And we're going to go through. Let me quickly get up the game against Forest so that we can run through that real quick. And there's so many things that I want to say about this game. I didn't get to stream it because obviously at the time my internet, I was having problems and I wasn't able to do none of the streams. And if you would have seen on my channel, if you had your notifications on, you would have seen that I basically scheduled like 4 or 5 lives. It was a nightmare, people. Like, I scheduled 4 or 5 lives. And I'd done the thumbnails, I put the times in, I had everything prepared, and then on the day of the matches, I came to load up my stuff and it just would not work. I fixed it now, but it would not work, and I was fuming. I was like, I spent all that time and doing this and that, and I was actually looking forward to it because it was an international break before that, and I was thinking finally we get to watch some football. You get me, I can stream, I can chat to the community. I was looking forward to the games. The games didn't actually disappoint, especially the Arsenal game. It was the best I've seen us play for a long time. And it's a shame that obviously I couldn't stream it, but we're back now. We do have a game at 5 o'clock tomorrow, which I've already done the thumbnail to and everything. So it's just a case of literally just posting that up for schedule. But yeah. In regards to this Nottingham Forest game, which is one that I do want to touch on, let me quickly get this up, because I was very impressed, to say the least, about this game, man. Like, this game was really impressive, and it was very refreshing actually to see how he actually approached the game. And that was one thing that stood out to me the most, man, about this game, was his approach to the game and his selection. And yeah, man, he pretty much just covered everything that we've been screaming out for the longest, and what we wanted him to do and what we wanted to watch. So in that sense, a lot of people feel content because they got what they wanted. Let me quickly do this with the screen. 1 second, people. Just so that you can see. I hope that comes up for you guys and you can see that well as well. Let me double check that it's all up. Yep. Perfect. Right. So, before we get into how the game kind of like break down what happened exactly in the game. Whoops, what did I do? The hell did I do, bro? Yeah, so before we get into all of that, I just wanna touch on the lineup. I want to talk about this lineup because for me, this lineup is exactly what I wanted to see. Man for man, this lineup is exactly what I wanted to see. And the reason I say that, and the reason I say I wanted to see this as opposed to a Martinelli on the left and a Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Odegaard midfield, wasn't because I don't rate Declan Rice or anything like that. It was just purely because I wanted to see rotation, bro. Declan Rice played both games for England. Declan Rice has been flogged since last season. He's been flogged, bro. And I wanted to see how Moreno would do in that position alongside Odegaard with a Zubimendi. Now, unfortunately, with Odegaard, I believe he came off in like 7th minute or something like that. So we didn't really get to see much of him. Let me double check exactly when he did come off, but I'm pretty sure it was in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, so Odegaard went down in the 10th minute. The substitution was made in the 18th minute. So yeah, pretty much we only got to see what 20 minutes or so of Odegaard in that game. So we can't really make a judgment on how that midfield worked. But with Mikel Moreno in specific, I was very impressed, bro, by what I've seen with him and Ethan with Zubimendi, bro. Of course, Zubimendi was another level, bro. His performance was insane in that game. And I was impressed with what I saw with Moreno, man, when he came into that position. Now, on the left, the reason I say I wanted Eze to start over Martinelli, and I had a lot of people come back to me with the whole, oh, Eze's not a left winger, Eze's a 10, Eze's a this, Eze's a that. And I've said this so many times. For Crystal Palace, Eze never played in the 10. He never played in the 10. Anyone that watched Crystal Palace when Eze was playing, he never played in the 10. Crystal Palace, matter of fact, don't even play with a 10. They play with 2 attacking midfielders. One on the left, one on the right. They play with is it Saar on the right, and they play with Eze on the left. So the spaces that Eze occupies is this area here anyway for Crystal Palace. So I never believed in that whole, oh, Eze, if he comes in, it's gonna be a case of he can't play on the left and this and that. And I never bought into that, to be honest, people. I never saw that as an issue. So for me, Eze starting on that left-hand side was a beautiful sight to see, bro. And the amount of times I was watching, yeah, OBS. Bugging out again, bro. Reconnecting. Can you just reconnect me, bro? Of course my OBS crashes. But anyways, as I was saying, people, before we got rudely interrupted by OBS, Eze occupies them spaces, and I wanted to see him play them. And as we saw, like I said, I was saying, for the Victor Gyökeres goal, the reason Eze and Madueke were so effective is because of their directness, because of their first thing on their mind was, how can I take on my fullback? How can I get the ball into Victor Gyökeres? How can I supply the striker? How can I get this guy chances? How can I create a chance for myself? How can I create a chance for the midfielders that are oncoming into the box, rushing into the box, making late runs into the box? So it was always very progressive and very attack-minded, front-footed football when we was up in their half of the pitch. And for me, that is very important. And you do not get that goal if Martinelli is playing on that left-hand side. I promise you, people. That ball that Calafiori played, that went over the top, Calafiori got the ball, picked it up in this space here, as the second half started. I believe it was like the 46th, 47th minute or whatever. It was the 46th, yeah. So he got the ball in this area here. Long ball over the top. Now, the pass itself, Martinelli would have made that run, most likely, to get to that position, to get on the end of that pass. However, the difference here between an Eze and a Martinelli is Eze has the IQ. Eze has the know-how to make that run, look up, see Gyökeres, know that he's going to make a run into the danger area and play that ball first time. Martinelli in that situation, people, I'll tell you exactly what Martinelli would do in that situation, because I've seen it several times. Martinelli would have made the exact same run that Eze made. Calafiori would have played the exact same pass. Gyökeres would have made the exact same run. However, Martinelli would have killed that ball dead. That ball would have got killed. He would have taken a touch, killed the ball dead, and tried to take on his man. That's what Martinelli does time after time after time after time. And people tried to justify the way he was playing based off, oh, 2 seasons ago he done. Listen, what Eze done in that moment, in that 30 seconds, the run, the composure, the awareness to know where his striker's going to be, where his teammate's going to be, play it first time, the execution of the pass, by the way, the execution of the pass by Eze, a lot of people, it's underrated. They're saying, oh, we just played it across goal. For him to play that first time on his left foot across goal, after watching the flight of the ball from Calafiori, keeping his eye on it, the weight of the pass, the timing of the pass, the precision of the pass, just in front of the keeper to make sure that Gyökeres has an easy tap in, the keeper can't get there. It's a beautiful assist from Eze. It's a lovely pass from Calafiori, beautiful assist from Eze, and that's 2 passes into a tap-in. Martinelli on that wing. Like I said, Martinelli kills that ball, tries to take on the defender, probably runs off the pitch or wins a corner, and that's it. That goal does not get scored. So Victor Gyökeres, in order to bring out the best of Victor Gyökeres, we actually need Eze to be playing on that left-hand side going forward. Eze has to play on the left-hand side going forward in order to bring the best out of Gyökeres. Simple as that. And that is the exact reason why I said, since we signed Eze, I said play him left wing. I don't care if he played in the left 10 at Crystal Palace. He occupied the same spaces. Anyone who knows anything about football knows that a left 10 and a left wing occupy the exact same spaces. So it doesn't matter. Like, that's just what it says on the team sheet. He's a little bit further infield as opposed to being out on the touchline. Reality of the situation is he's going to float, he's going to come inside, he's going to go on the outside, he's going to play the exact same role. So that was a beautiful goal. Let's go through, since we're talking about the goals. I hope that didn't make a mad noise. I just slapped the mic. But yeah, since we're talking about the goals, let's go through the first goal now. Zubimendi, bro. Martin Zubimendi. Oh my lord. Now I know a lot of people will say, oh, the shot, it took a deflection as he's volleyed it. Like, I've seen a lot of people saying that. Carlo, what's going on? I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it took a deflection, the keeper would have saved it. Listen, the technique on that volley was unbelievable, bro. There is very few players in this league who can execute a volley like that. I promise you. How many times have we seen, not just Arsenal, I'm talking about in general now, football in general, whether it be in Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, Premier League, Spanish League, I don't know, whatever league, Sunday League, in your local pub, in your local park, like wherever. When the ball drops out the sky from that far, outside the box, 30 yards out, for a player to have that technique, Oh, the sweetness of the strike, the pureness of the strike. My God, I don't even know what to say about that goal. That goal, yeah. Oh, if only I was streaming when that goal went. I was so pissed that my stream went. Do you know how mad I went when that goal went in? I ran around. I was watching it downstairs. I literally ran around my whole house, bro. I went from downstairs to upstairs, back downstairs, in my kitchen, back to the living room to watch the game again when that goal went in. That goal was crazy. When was the last time we seen any Arsenal players score a goal like that? Forget a goal like that. Shoot the ball from the outside of the box. We haven't had that. We haven't had players that do stuff like that. Maybe a Declan Rice is capable of doing that. Like, we haven't really had players to do that. Now we've got abundance of play. We've got Eze's got that. Rice has got that. Zubamendi's obviously got that in his locker. We know Calafiori's got that in his locker. Like, there's players who can do that. We know Odegaard of a few years ago had that in his locker. So the goals that we scored were so refreshing. And that's what made this performance so good as well. It wasn't just the fact that we were on the front foot all the time, which was so nice to see. The fact that we were attacking all the time, which was so nice to see. The fact that we had Madueke and Eze, who as soon as they got the ball, bang, switch in their head. I'm taking on my man. I'm getting into a dangerous area and I'm trying to create or trying to score. That was the first thing that came to their mind. We ain't had that in ages, man. The only player who does that up front for us is Bukayo Saka. And right now, we've got three players that we know that when Saka's not there, we've got players there that not only have the quality, but have the mentality and the footballing ability to take on their man and cause chaos, bro. I've always said it. In football's a very simple game. If you cause chaos, things will happen. That Zubamendi volley that he took a risk, he took a gamble. He's volleyed it, he's believed in his ability to execute that volley. Yes, it's taken a little deflection, but you earn your luck in football. And these things are so important when you're trying to beat teams like Nottingham Forest and you're trying to beat teams like Leeds. We saw last season, we saw the season before that, the games that cost us, they were these kind of games. And people can say Gyökeres scored 2 against Leeds and he scored one against Nottingham Forest. He's stat padding. He's got 3 and 4 games, but he hasn't scored against Man U or Liverpool. Listen, our problem hasn't ever been the big games. Don't ever let people tell you or make you feel like our problem is we need Gyökeres to score in big games. That's not our problem. Our problem is not big games. Our problem was these games. We needed someone to be a bully in these games. Someone that we know we can rely on to get us consistent goals in these games. If he gets me 20 goals in the Premier League season and they're all against teams outside of the top 4, I'm happy with it. I'm more than happy with that. That's a brilliant season for that's an amazing season for Gyökeres. 20 goals against teams outside of the top 4 and chip in with 1 or 2 here and there against the top 4. Bro, what more can you ask for? So for me, the goals that we scored were beautiful. And that was the first Zubamendi goal. The second one, obviously, Trossard came on. Do you know what I'm saying? He came on, he got an assist. It was a nice floated ball, and I did not expect Zubamendi to header that into the looping over the keeper. Like, I didn't know this guy. I think I saw a stat where it said he scored, what was it, like 2 or 3 headed goals in his whole career. So for him to get that header was just, I thought it was like Moreno or someone who scored it until I actually seen it, and then I was like, damn. I was like, Zubamendi's out here feeling himself. He's really feeling himself today, bro. Next thing you know, he might get a bicycle kick or something. But yeah, the performance was electric. Mosquera, unbelievable. £13 million. How the hell did we get this guy for £13 million? I have no idea. But we've just robbed Valencia. I know Real Madrid wanted him. I know Barcelona wanted him. So Andrea Berta, that just goes to show when you have a good sporting director and you've got someone in charge of the transfers who's got connections and Obviously, he used to work with Simeone for Atletico Madrid, and we knew that he wanted to get Mosquera at Atletico Madrid. So there's clearly a relationship that he's developed with the player's agent, maybe, or he's been in negotiations with them before, with the club, and trying to bring him to Atletico. So there's obviously a history there, and he knows the market, which is very important. For your sporting director to know these things is very important. And the reason that Arsenal have this squad depth that they have, and the reason that they're able to rest Declan Rice, and when Bukayo Saka's out, it's not a problem. Odegaard goes off, it's not a problem. Saliba's out, it's not a problem. Ben White is out, it's not a problem. You name it, like Jesus, Havertz, how many people are out, and it's not a problem. It doesn't seem to make no difference. Is because we have a sporting director who has planned properly, and we've gone into the season ready. And when was the last time, as an Arsenal fan, you can sit there and wholeheartedly say, yeah, our squad's ready? I genuinely can't remember. I genuinely think this transfer window was the best that we have seen as Arsenal fans. And in my lifetime anyway, I'm 32 years old, I haven't seen a transfer window like this. We brought in 8 players. We kept a lot of the top players that we got. We signed them up to new contracts. I'm hearing that they're signing Saliba up to a new contract. Like, bro, Andrea Berta has really changed lives out here, fam. Like, people need to acknowledge that. Tribal chief settings, bro. Acknowledge him. Yeah, he's serious, bro. He's a bad man. And it's showing, man. It's showing. Like, Saka's out, no problem. Put Madueke in. Rice, have a rest, no problem. Put Moreno in. Odegaard goes off injured, no problem. Put Ethan in. Saliba's out, no problem. Mosquera. If you want to, Ben White's out. If you want a proper right back, in my opinion, the best right back in the league, put Timber in. You get me? Like, bro, it's just, and it's everywhere. If Gabriel was out, you could put Hincapié in. If, I don't know, Zubamendi's out, you could put Norgard in. If Saka's out, you put Madwood. Like, there's just, the options are just endless, man. Calafiori, Lewis Skelly. Raya, Kepa. There's someone who's competent. That's the best word to use. Who's competent. Who we know we can rely on. They're reliable in every single position on that pitch. And I think that's what Mikel Arteta wanted. He wanted 2 players for each position. And now he's got it. And now there's no excuses not to bring back silverware this season. There's no excuse, I'm sorry. There's 4 competitions to win. In May, I want to see silverware. And it's as simple as that, man. Like, there's nothing else to say, really. In regards to this game, it was just unreal. Unreal. The best game we've played in a long time. And I mean, the stats reflect it. 16 shots to 5. 5 shots on target to 1. Which I believe that shot wasn't even a shot. It was like, it bounced off Chris Wood's chest. And it accidentally, like, looped over. David Raya fingertipped it onto the crossbar. But that wasn't even a shot. So really and truly, they didn't even have a shot in the whole game. 55% possession, more passes, more corners. Yeah, man, like, solid. And obviously, league table, you don't really take too much mind in that right now. It's only 4 games in, so you can't really read too much into it. I mean, when you got Everton and Sunderland and Bournemouth and shit all in the top half, it's a bit, well, Sunderland, but Bournemouth's actually had a really good start. Damn, now that I'm looking at it now, they've won 3 in a row, you know. What was the game they lost? They lost to Liverpool in that opening game at Anfield. So they basically got same as us. They lost to Liverpool and that's it. But we had a loss. Not this game. This was a Forest, yeah. Well, table, it is what it is, man. Like, you can't really concentrate on the table too much. But in regards to the title, like I said, of this video, do Arsenal have the best squad depth in the Premier League? I genuinely believe there's an argument to say we do. And I'm being deadly serious. Like, I genuinely believe that. I believe if we go man for man, each position, 2 in each position, and the quality, I just don't I don't think there's anyone else with that. So you could say, for example, Liverpool's attacking depth is better than ours because their first 11 attack is better than ours. The bench attack they got, I don't know, you could argue it, but yeah, in general, attack, midfield, defense, keeper, for me, is definitely Arsenal. That's how I see it. I'll be so real, man. Like, the squad is up there, man. It's top. And now, moving on to this game, which we're going to be doing a watch along tomorrow. We're going live at 5 o'clock, so make sure you tune in. The game kicks off at 5:45. We'll be going live 45 minutes beforehand just to, do you know what I mean, just to have a talk and that. It is a group league phase again. However, the difference this year with the Champions League, what they've done is, last season they had a lot of complaints about this league phase, how it didn't really matter if you came in the top 8 because your next fixture would be like, you could play, for example, your second game away. So finishing in the top 8 didn't really give too much of a upper hand to the team that finished. Like, you could have finished 16th and had the advantage with the home leg second. So what they've done now is they've made the top 8. You will play at home in the second leg. So there is incentive now to finish in the top 8 more than there was last season. Last season, obviously, it was the first time they were trying out this this league format in the Champions League. I personally didn't mind it. I personally thought it was okay. The only thing I didn't like about it is the thing that they've changed now, which is reward the teams that finish in the top 8 with something, as opposed to just treating everyone the exact same, whether you finish first or qualified in 24th or whatever it is like. So, in regards to this game, we've got Athletic Club. I know they lost their last game. They lost their last game to Alaves 1-0. And I believe Nico Williams was not playing and he's injured. Let me double check if he was there. That's Inaki Williams. Obviously, they've still got a few decent players. Yeah, no Nico Williams, not even on the bench, no? Not even on the bench, so... Yeah, Nico Williams, I highly doubt he's going to play this game. And he's obviously their best player. He's obviously their biggest threat. So... that's a good thing for us, I guess. Not a good thing that he's injured, but... obviously, you don't wish injuries on no one, but... it's good for us, man. In terms of this game, though... how I'm feeling is, I think we need to get the win, man. We need to get the job done. We need to get the job done. There's no, like, I don't have no, nothing in my mind other than a win, to be honest with you. Worst case scenario, draw. I just don't see, the only thing I would say is, Athletic Bilbao have been in the Europa League, so they're going to be very pumped up for this game because it is away from home, so they're going to be very pumped up for this game. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be up for it because it's the first time they're back in the Champions League for, I think, a good like 5-6 years, I'm pretty sure. So they're definitely going to be up for it. However, what I would say is quality should always shine through. So we managed to reach the semi-final last year. Do you know what I mean? I don't think teams like this should be causing us many issues. The atmosphere, if you get that first goal within the first half, you'd like to think that eventually you'd be able to dampen it down a little bit. I don't think personally anyway, even if the atmosphere is raucous and this and that, I don't think that will affect the players that much because of the experience they would have picked up last season from going to the Bernabeu and dealing with that situation. They went to a lot of places last year that you could have considered hostile, man, and they dealt with it. So I don't think the atmosphere will play that much a part in terms of the result for Arsenal. I think it will be down to I think a lot of how that game plays out is going to be down to the first 20 minutes, first half an hour, man. And I hope that Mikel Arteta plays the same team that we saw in the Forest game. I genuinely want him to play the exact same team. I don't really want to see changes like that. The only change that I would make potentially is take Calafiori out. I'd take Calafiori out and put Lewis Skelly to rest Calafiori. Oh, pardon. Because we know Calafiori's injury prone. So you obviously don't want to take that risk before the Man City game. So I'd definitely change Calafiori. In terms of the midfield, I would bring... maybe you could bring Declan Rice back into the fold. Potentially you could bring Declan Rice in. You take out a Moreno, maybe. Odegaard, there's no need to rush back. Let's be honest. Like, even if he's fit or whatever, I haven't seen really if he's back in training or this and that. I'd assume not, to be honest with you. I think he needs to actually go and get surgery on that shoulder, because this is the second time it's happened in the space of like a few months, 2 months or a month. So for me, in that sense, I wouldn't risk Odegaard. I wouldn't risk Saka. I wouldn't risk Saliba. I would still stick with Noni. I would still stick with Ethan, and I would still stick with Mosquera. And I think all three of them should go into the Man City game as well. So they play this game Tuesday. Man City actually play on Thursday, so we got 2 days extra rest. And yeah, put them into the City game as well. I believe that's on Sunday. And see where we go from there, man. But for me, genuinely, like, I don't want to come across as like and say it's going to be easy, because I don't think it's going to be easy in a sense. I think the result at the end will look more comfy than the game is, innit? I do think the result will make it. The game itself, I think, will be a fight. I think it will be difficult. I think for the first half an hour, it's going to be difficult, especially. But I do think at the end, it's going to be a clean sheet. And I do think in the end, it's going to be a 2-0 to Arsenal. I'm going 2-0, 3-0. And I do want to see Gyökeres start in this game. I do hope he starts Gyökeres. We ain't really got many other options up front anyway. Jesus is out, Havertz is out, but Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon had a really good record in the Champions League, and they didn't even make it that far. So for that reason, I do want to see Gyökeres, and I do want to see how he kind of does in the Champions League, because there should be more space, I believe, than the Premier League. It's obviously it's played at a way slower tempo than the Premier League, so you'd assume that Gyökeres would get a lot of space and a lot of time to kind of, for us to create more chances for him, clear-cut chances, you could say, than the Premier League. So it'll be interesting to see how Gyökeres does. And yeah, apart from that, I'd go Raya, Timber, Gabriel, Mosquera, Lewis Skelly. Like I said, I'd rest Calafiori. Rice, I'd bring back into the team. Zubamendi, Nwaneri, Madueke, Gyökeres, Eze. That would be my team. And then obviously on the bench, you'd have the likes of Max Dowman, you'd have the likes of Trossard, Martinelli, and all these guys. Even Mikel Moreno you could bring up off the bench. So yeah, man, that's kind of my thoughts on the Champions League game, to be honest with you. I don't know if there's any other games. Let me see if there's any other games worth streaming tomorrow. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there's a lot of games, but are any of them good? 8 o'clock. There's Juventus Dortmund, Tottenham Villarreal. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do them. So I'm probably gonna have 2 streams tomorrow. I'll probably do the Tottenham Villarreal. Real Madrid Marseille is going to be a whitewash. Especially when I know you dream 42. Right. This one we're gonna do a watch along for as well, so I'll probably be going live at about 7:30 for that one. What other stuff? What other games we got going on? Because I know we're gonna have some on a Wednesday as well. Oh, they're all at 8. Damn. They should have had like one big game at 5:45, and like they've done it here. And then at 8. But they've done it differently on that. I'd say out of the games the following day, I think we'll be flicking between Bayern, Chelsea, and PSG not PSG, sorry. Bayern, Chelsea, and Liverpool, Atletico. We'll flick between these two. We'll have one watch along that day because these games are dead. Olympiacos and Paphos and that. And then on the Thursday, of course, we got Newcastle, Barcelona, and then we'll flick through between that and the Man City game. So we're going to have content for the Champions League for the next 3 days. And then obviously we got the Premier League. But for this game, I'm predicting personally a 2-0 to Arsenal. I think it should be pretty comfortable, man. I don't see why we would struggle too much in this game, man. And it's very important to get off to a strong start in this Champions League phase. It is very important. I'm not too sure who the next game is. Let me double check. Yeah, we got Olympiacos at home. So these two games have to be wins. To be honest, you have to beat Athletic Bilbao. Worst comes to worst, draw. You beat City. Obviously, you beat Port Vale. Newcastle, this is our bogey team here, so I'm worried about this game more than I'm worried about the City game, to be honest with you. This one should be a win. Should be a win. Win. We're at home to Atletico as well. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be Andre Berta as well against his former club. Hopefully he can give Arteta some tips. Palace home, we should win. So we got some decent fixtures coming up. So we've kind of, once we get this Newcastle and City game out the way, we've got a decent run of fixtures, to be honest with you. And a lot of them are home games as well, like the West Ham, Olympiacos, Atletico, Crystal Palace, etc. So we've managed to do well up until this point, man. Since the opening day, difficult start, Old Trafford, obviously beat Leeds, beat United, the 1-0 loss to Liverpool, beat Nottingham Forest. So out of these 4 games, it is a difficult start. Like, no matter what people want to tell you, Nottingham Forest is not a bad team. Liverpool away at Anfield is going to be tricky for everyone in this league. Man United at Old Trafford is going to be tricky for everyone in this league, no matter how much you want to banter them, no matter how much, whatever. They always turn up against Arsenal. We have a poor record there. It was the opening day of the season. It was difficult, man. They had all their new signings out there, so that was always going to be a tricky game. We were never going to whitewash them 10-0, like what people expect, and Gyökeres to get a hat-trick. Like, that was never going to happen. This ain't FIFA. Man City at the Etihad would have been way more tricky than this. I'd say here we should win, and we should win comfortably considering the way that Man City's been playing. I expect the win, and I expect a comfortable win. That's not to say that we're going to batter them. That's just me saying we should be able to shut them out and get a goal or two. Newcastle away is the game that I'm worried about the most out of this block of games. To be honest with you, I can see us stumbling here. I can see potentially a draw. If we can win that game, then boy, that'd be nice for a change after what they've done in the League Cup semi-final. And I think last season, even in the Premier League at St James's Park, I believe we didn't win. So it would be nice to actually finally get a result there. And then yeah, you go and just win your second game in the Champions League at home. And if you put yourself in a position where you're 6 points from 6 in the Champions League, and you've beat City, you've beat United, you've beat Forest, you've beat Newcastle, and then you go into this block here with the Palace and Burnley and Sunderland and Tottenham at home, then you can be way more demanding of emphatic wins. Let's just say, like the Leeds one, like the Forest one. But up until then, it's just results, man. A lot of it is just results. It was very refreshing to see the way that we played there. I just hope that he continues with that structure and that formula going forward now into the Atletico game, into the City game, and really stick it on these teams, because we do have quality to hurt them. We have definitely got quality to hurt these teams, especially like Man City, for example. Man City's defending has been atrocious this season. Even against Manchester United, yeah, they won the game and it looks comfortable scoreline-wise, but it was not comfortable for them when Man U were attacking. It was just Man U didn't have the quality in the final third to get that final pass right, to get that final action in the attacking third, where they would always make the wrong decision. They would always, there was many times where they had the overlap with Dorgu and he has to cut it across to someone, find the open man, and he always messed it up. Ahmad had the ball, messed it up. Bruno had the ball, messed it up. They wasn't finding the runs of Sesko. Like the Man City defense is very, very, very suspect, bro. And should we play that same lineup with Madueke, who's very direct, who I believe can cook them, Eze, who can definitely cook them on the left-hand side, and then you got Gyökeres with the space that they leave in behind their defense. Bro, I believe it could be problems, man. It could be problems for City. So let's just hope that he adopts that same way of playing going forward, because I don't want to see him revert back to the whole way that we played against Liverpool and against Manchester United. I hope he's going to stick with this now. He's going to stick with Eze on the left. He's going to stick with Noni on the right up until Saka's back. Obviously, when Saka's back fully fit, we don't need to rush him. I've seen he's in training. I've seen Saliba's in training. I've seen these guys could potentially play, but we're not in a position where we need to rush them. And we're not playing a Champions League final or a cup final or something where we need them to play. Like, it's not that. It's fine. We've got the squad depth, like I said before. I believe we've got the best squad depth in the Premier League. So we've seen firsthand in that Nottingham Forest game how strong that squad depth is. So use it going forward now. That would be my thing to say to Arteta. Just use it going forward. And yeah, man, hopefully we can push on and really achieve something this season, man. I really want to see us achieve something this season. I normally am hopeful that we can achieve something, but I'm never fully believing it, because I'm always like cautious of, we're 1 or 2 injuries away from possibly being in a crisis and this and that, and like, if Saliba goes out, who do we have? If this player goes out, who do we have? Whereas this season, I'm very relaxed with those kind of situations, and I'm not too worried about, like, look, for example, Saka is out, and like, we're good, bro. Bukayo Saka is out and we're good. And that is a massive, like, bro, that is a big deal, man. Because last season, you guys saw me when I was on stream last season, and it's there in HD and 4K, and I've said it's either Saka or nothing in the attack. That's what it felt like. I'll be honest, people. It felt like it was either Saka or bust. So for me, going forward, like, to have this kind of selection headache, if you want to call it that, this is like luxury, bro. Like, Saka's out, no problem. He's training. You ain't got to rush him. That is such a, like, managers don't get that kind of comfort. So that's where the pressure is really going to be on Arteta this season to deliver, because if this squad of players does not deliver, I am not blaming. I cannot blame the squad. I cannot blame the quality of the squad. I cannot blame the ownership. I cannot blame the recruitment. I cannot blame anything other than the coach, because every single thing is there for you to be successful. Now, whether that be competing for the league and you have 99 points and Liverpool get 100 and you lose the league, fair enough. Whether that be you win a domestic cup double, FA Cup, League Cup, you compete for the Premier League, you get to a Champions League final, fair enough. Depending on the context, like I said, these things are important for us to look at. You can't just, it's not black and white. It's not just you either win the Premier League or Champions League or you get sacked. No, it's what if he gets to a Champions League final and we lose on penalties, and then he gets us 95 points and we still lose the league? Like, you're not going to sack him for that. Let's just be real, people. Let's not, I don't like people who have like such a narrow-minded outlook where it's like, no, Premier League, Champions League, or sacked. Okay, so if he wins us the FA Cup and League Cup, gets us 100 points, and then we lose the Champions League final on penalties, what are you going to say? Sack him? It just doesn't make sense. So for me, there is massive pressure on him, and I've seen positive signs in that Nottingham Forest game, like I said, that say to me he could possibly be doing things the way that we want him to do things. Because when Odegaard went down injured, something that really surprised me, Odegaard went down injured, and I don't know if you guys saw, Martinelli and Ethan both went to warm up at that period when he went down injured. He went down injured in the 10th minute, he came off in the 18th. So in that 8-minute period, they were both warming up. He chose to go with Ethan, which was 100,000,000% the right choice, and the choice that every single one of us as fans wanted him to make. But we were worried that he was going to bring on Martinelli and put Eze in the pocket in Odegaard's position, because that would have been a safer thing to do. So yeah, man, like for me, like I said, positive signs. And let's just hope that moving forward, that's going to be the case. Now, in terms of, let me just see my flipping fantasy team, by the way. In terms of all the other things, yeah, that's it, man. That's really all I have to say. This is what my FPL done, for those who care. Probably no one, but yeah. Pretty shocking, innit? I played a wild card as well. I could have put any of these two defenders in instead of Cucurella, and I would have got more points as well. Unbelievable. I'm really thinking to take this guy out, you know. I don't know who they got next, but Consa's got Sunderland away. Do we captain Salah? Everton at home. Yeah, he's probably going to score, innit? Probably got to captain him. Who's his next games? I think he's got to go, man. I think Mbuemo's got to go, people. I'm being deadly serious. What are we saying? Should we make a transfer real quick, people? Or actually, let me wait. Because we don't know what's going to happen in the Champions League games. Maybe someone, God forbid, gets an injury or something. So in my leagues, I'm not actually doing that bad, to be fair. I've gone up from 254 to 242 out of God knows how many people. How many people are in this league? I don't even know how you check, like. There's a lot, so yeah, I'm not actually doing too bad. There's probably like over 1,000 people. They're all green arrows, innit? That's all you want to see, basically. So we're making progress in our fantasy as well, which is pretty cool. 70 points. Semenyo got me points. 13 points for Semenyo, 12 for Gyökeres, 6 for Eze, 9 for Salah, 5 and 6 for the Palace defenders. Raya got me 6 as well. As usual, keeping a clean sheet. Kudos, shocking. Pedro got me 7. But yeah, man. People, I'm gonna love you and leave you. I thought, let me just jump on and do a quick late night stream, since I feel like I haven't been doing enough content, to be honest. I feel like I've been slacking because of this shitty internet. The other day, what happened, I couldn't do my watch alongs and all this shit, bro. It pissed me off, man. But we're back again tomorrow, people. Well, later on today if you're in the UK. And we're going to be doing the Champions League. I'm literally going to, as I come off now, I'm going to schedule that stream for tomorrow. So make sure that you like, subscribe, do you know what I'm saying? Leave comments, engage, don't be shy. And yeah, people, man, I'll catch you for the watch along for Arsenal against Athletic Bilbao. And until then, take care.